Lee Diana. So we've got Teemo, Draven's biggest fan. A couple of early plays, and we're attacking on turn 3 against Lee Diana. I don't mind playing Draven's biggest fan on 2. The sand actually looks pretty good. I don't think we can keep crowd favorites. I think you do need to just mulligan really aggressively in these matchups. There's Draven. And see, like, it's kind of funny, but drawing that Draven doesn't even feel that good. Because it kind of... It basically just turns our Draven's biggest fan into a 2-1. And I know that seems weird. You might say, well, Swim, drawing Draven is what biggest fan does anyway, so it's a 2-1 anyway. But here's the problem. Like, this deck especially, it's so important that our turn 1 and turn 2 are as optimal as possible. That, like, I don't want to have a blank in my card for multiple turns, you know? That's so important for this deck. I can't be blanking out like that. The draw did improve a little bit. The draw improved a shit ton. We're crazy players. Ooh, I snapped off that Draven a bit fast. Was it possible that it could have been House Spider into Rummage Vision? Like, when I see Draven there, I don't even think about it. I don't think it could have been. Nah, of course it's Draven there. Where the fuck am I trolling? I don't think it's really possible for him not to block, so we can do the kind of Teehee reactive Spinning Axe. If he palms, then that might change our Spinning Axe target. So now we get to reactively get 1 additional point of damage. Teemo's going to go ahead and put 10 Puff Caps in. Puff Caps are worth a lot. He draws a shit ton. See, like, honestly, imagine if this Teemo was a second Draven. Like, how bad would that feel here? Really, you know? So just when you're deck building, think about ratioing and just like how often are you drawing something and how often do you want to be drawing something? That's it, right? So here's a Whirling Death, which, don't get me wrong, Whirling Death isn't useless in this deck, but it's not amazing. It's not really what this deck wants or needs, you know? It's all right. I mean, he certainly doesn't have anything here. I guess the best thing to do is to just go very wide. This is actually quite interesting. So there's a couple arguments. I could just go wide with like House Spider, Draven's biggest fan, and then next turn open myself up to Rummage. I think that's best. I could alternatively Rummage now, kicking Whirling Death and House Spider, or sorry, Whirling Death and biggest fan, and then if I find a sick like 1 mana card, it could make my play a little bit better. But honestly, all I want is just like a 6-unit board. So I think it's gotta be better to do this, really, right? And Whirling Death isn't terrible here. I don't even mind it. Whirling Death is kind of like... It has some is it good here? It has some application if your game plan is already working the way it wants to. Interesting. Like, as long as the rest of our game plan is working, Whirling Death can work. It's good in the mirror. That's where Whirling Death is probably best, I think. So, the only issue is he could have Nopeify. How much damage are we dealing? We're dealing a total of 7 damage here, plus the 15 Puff Caps. Oh, Teemo's leveling here. It's not quite enough. We give Nopeify. We basically have to try to kill the Lee Sin and hope it works. It's just like... Even if it's just... Here's the thing. Even if it's just Pale Cascade, we're still getting fucked by that. Isn't that crazy? How are we still getting fucked by that? A chance to basically win the game. The downside is fairly low. Rummaging here is only good if we're literally finding vision, right? I do have to go for it. It feels so bad. But it's the only thing... I could just wait and play it as a second Draven after combat, I guess. Wow, that's actually better. That's actually better. That's really funny. Because with this hand, we're narrow on resources and we don't have a big replenisher. So just getting like a bit more max value out of my tools while also, you know, giving me, you know, rummage fodder is pretty great. Alright, guys. So I think I might be able to do one last game after this one. And then it's goodbye forever. There's an argument to avoid letting him challenge Draven, but honestly, Teemo's a much bigger threat for his challenger anyway. Teemo's a big fucking threat right now. He literally has to deal with Teemo or he's fucked. It's a solid top deck. We call that the nuts, I guess. Debatable. I think I'd rather have burn damage, honestly. Like, Augmented or Get Excited is better, because this plays into, like, Will and Hush. I don't know. I can't really complain about a 4-mana Wild Claw, though, can I? There's one Mushroom. Whew. PBG and Swim quitting LOR Sag. It's funny memes. The only problem is I do think a lot of people are, like... A lot of people kind of don't get the joke, in part because it's not really funny. So a lot of people think that, like, you know, might think that me and BBG are actually quitting. I don't know what BBG's, I don't know. I mean, I heard him saying he was feeling bad about things. Did he clarify? Did he say he wasn't quitting and he was just tilted? Or is he out? Is he gone? I can't actually rummage the way the Flame Chompers until after I decide how this combat goes. What are the odds this House Spider ends up being essential to my game plan? It's gonna be really hard being detrimental. It can only really be detrimental if, like, there's something else that, like Chompers here, but Chompers I can already play out. Something that I couldn't manually play, because I can't discard and play Chompers if I have that card there. Okay, this is more nutty. This feels good. BBZ is sad she can't play Demacia anymore. We're all a little sad right now. For sure. So now the thing is, you know, we have to think, are we developing into this or are we just open attacking? It looks like a pretty simple open attack. I don't think this development really adds anything to this. What we can do is we can go ahead and drag Lee Sin to the side. Dragging, you know, the Dragon Link to the very edge is kind of nice. The only problem with that, though, is that Lee Sin will absorb more damage by blocking the crowd favorite with Overwhelm. So now, the Dragon Link being a blocker, what we need to do is make sure that Dragon Link wants to block as far to the right as possible. So it's like crowd favorite on the left side. It doesn't get to strike against Draven's quick attack, so, you know, we can do Draven here. And then, basically this is kind of the best way to sequence it. This looks good. So, if it wants to lifesteal in the early here, it has to do that. We've got Hush. Yeah, Hush is all right there. So what we can do is we can go ahead and just start nutting with our disgusting hands, I guess. I guess we're manually playing Vision? Yeah, we manually play Vision. Ooh, that's awkward, but the Draven's giving us another axe. So I guess I guess we're axing the Vision then, because the Draven's giving us another axe to discard. Only if the Draven strikes. If he now, like, palms the Draven, then oddly enough, that kind of fucks us. Because we need to sequence around exactly how many axes we're going to have. I do like discard aggro. It's cool that... I mean, the meta is oppressive right now. I do think some of the best decks are pretty interesting. I think discard aggro, as opposed to other forms of aggro, I think it's actually really interesting to play. There's, I think, a surprising amount of angles to it. Okay, so, I mean, we have pretty great options here. He'd need something pretty nuts to stop this. Like, I mean, he should survive this, get excited with, like, a deny or a, you know, whatchamacallit, the other thing. But he shouldn't be able to stop the Jinx after that. Nightfall is garbage. Nightfall's kind of the same way, where it's like, it's interesting. Unfortunately, Nightfall's complete trash. I'm exaggerating a bit. I'm exaggerating a small amount. It's not great. Okay. So he's got the deny. If we draw, like, units here, this could actually be pretty awkward, because we do kind of need the rocket to come in. And he does have... Wait, I guess we lost. Oh, well. How did this happen? Why did I feel like we were winning this game? Wah. It's an alright draw. If he's killing me this turn, he might not be able to save enough mana for Nopify. To play around Guiding Touch, I mean, we can't let it go to combat. We pretty much just have to kind of like play or get excited right now. There's nothing weird and fancy that can be done, I think. Is there a weird universe in which a better play could possibly be letting Jinx die and then playing the other Jinx into the crowd favorite? And then next turn we might be able to get... I mean, we can get Missile next... No, but... Nah, it's definitely not right. Yeah, there's nothing weird to do here. Just hit this in face and hope he doesn't have anything. That's good for me. That's also good for me. I mean, every point of damage matters so much as aggro. Yeah, Teemo's just a good card. The weakest thing about Teemo is double drawing Teemo. And having to deal with the fact that it's a literal fucking mushroom that does nothing. But Teemo's a great card. Like, it's a super solid one-drop. And this isn't news either. It's like Teemo is a competitive card. It's been running competitive decks before. I think it's just like a lot of Runeterra newcomers that just might not know that history. So if I do this, and if he nopifies me, I am getting the rocket, but he's healing for 4 in a way I can't stop, which means we still have to top deck lethal, and our Jinx is dead, so we really have to top deck lethal. Alright, so this is kind of bad. He does have a bunch of mushrooms left in his deck still, 13. That could just win us the game, actually. You know what? We actually have an open attack here. Wait, we're totally fine. He has a 1-card hands, and we have an open attack. We're totally fine. What am I talking about? We're free. What an easy game. We're good, boys. Sorry, I got, you know, little Lee Sin trauma there. Ooh. Ooh. Yikes. Well, we're losing to Palm. Oh, fuck. Oh, please! Please! Cap me! Do it! You have 13! Oh, no. Oh, no, 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 no. Not like this. So I need him to have Palm and not Guiding Touch. I need him to have to draw another card. If he Guiding Touches, then he needs to draw 2 more Puff Caps. Oh, we're good. Oh, the Puff Cap got us there. Holy shit, we're good. Oh my god, we did it. Woo. But yeah, it's a pretty solid deck. This card is also super interesting to build. I think, like, what's happening right now is a lot of people are net decking this version of discard. And, you know, in the past, it used to be, like, there was big arguments, like, do you top-end burn? Like, I think the Swarm package kind of has to be a given now that Poro Cannon is in the game, but I think just because it's not as new of a concept, a lot of people are just falling into the same pattern. I'm seeing people basically net deck, like, exactly one deck. And there's fairly few things you can do. I'm thinking, you know, it really just depends on what kind of tables I want. I'm thinking about cutting the 3rd crowd favorite. I'm thinking about running a 3rd rummage. Minor tweaks. I definitely don't miss the 3rd Draven. I really don't at all. Like, part of me, and this I think would be going too far, but I could almost cut the 2nd Draven for a 2nd Teemo and run 3 biggest fan and 1 Draven. Like, that's going too far, I'm pretty sure, but it's not even out of the question. It really isn't. It really, really isn't. You only need to draw 1 Draven. And so, like, using a champ slot on him, especially in, like, drawing him early, isn't necessarily great. But Draven's nice in the mirror. Landmark can snag you games. All right, so we've got, yeah, we've got the Landmark. What's it called? University. So Landmark does have the ability to win you some games. I think the biggest issue with it is that it's, like, just absolute garbage as a card. Unadulterated trash. Pure trash card. It's pretty funny. But yeah, a lot of fun. That was my last game, guys. That was my last game. If it ended a bit sooner, I might have been able to play one more, but that's it, guys. It's time for my break. I'm going to have a lot of fun. I'm going to miss you guys, but I think it's going to strengthen our relationship. Because I'm not going to lie. We spent a little too much time together. I'm thinking like clean break might be better. Might be better for both of us. Might be better for both of us, guys. Because, you know, I don't want to be codependent. I don't want to be one, you know, where it's just like we're always going out together and it's every single day, joined at the hip. So I do think this will make our relationship even stronger than it was before. Even stronger than it was before, okay? When I return on Thursday. I can't promise super consistent streams because I do plan on working on a lot of other things. But I will be back, and what I can promise is my streams will be higher quality. Like they have been, like tonight, the last few hours have been pretty great. Whereas relatively, a lot of my other streams have kind of sucked. Like I said, I'm going to be tweeting random pictures of fucking hiking and mountain. I'm not going to use my phone for any communication, and I'm not going to I'm not even going to give you updates. I'm just going to give you pictures and no text. I'll see you guys next time, boys. Have a good night.